Have you ever wondered why some people don't respect you, no matter how kind or understanding you try to be? This video is for anyone who has felt disrespected, undervalued, or dismissed by others. Whether it's at work, in social circles, or even within your family, dealing with people who lack respect can leave you feeling frustrated and powerless. But here's the good news: you don't have to live with it. By watching this video, you'll discover practical strategies that will not only help you handle disrespect, but also earn the respect you deserve. This isn't just another theory-based discussion. What we're sharing today is a complete guide with real-world examples, actionable lessons, and step-by-step strategies that you can start using right away. So, if you've ever wondered how to stand up for yourself, set boundaries, and build healthier relationships, you're in the right place. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Like this video and share it with someone you think might benefit from it. Sharing helps others, and it motivates us to create more valuable content like this. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a future video. Let's jump in. 1. Understand the root cause of disrespect. Disrespect rarely happens in isolation, and to effectively address it, it's crucial to understand the deeper reasons behind why it occurs. Often, there are underlying factors, whether related to the other person's personality, circumstances, or even how you present yourself, that contribute to the disrespectful behavior. Recognizing the root cause is the first step toward finding a solution that doesn't just deal with the surface issue, but addresses it at its core. One important aspect to consider is that disrespectful behavior often stems from deeper emotional struggles or unresolved issues within the person displaying the behavior. It could be that they're dealing with stress, insecurity, or a lack of emotional intelligence. For instance, if someone constantly interrupts you during conversations or meetings, it may not be a direct attack on your ideas, but rather a reflection of their own self-doubt or anxiety. In this case, their behavior might be an attempt to assert, control, or avoid feeling inferior. When you encounter disrespect, it's beneficial to step back and ask yourself, is this about me, or is it about them? This perspective shift allows you to respond more calmly, without becoming too emotionally reactive. You may begin to realize that their actions aren't a reflection of your worth, but rather a projection of their own internal struggles. At the same time, it's important to reflect on your own role in the dynamic. Sometimes, disrespect arises because we haven't clearly communicated our boundaries, whether due to fear of conflict or a desire to be liked. For example, if a colleague frequently hands you last-minute tasks and you continue to say yes out of a desire to be helpful, they may come to expect this behavior from you. Without realizing it, you may have unintentionally allowed this pattern to form. In these situations, taking the time to reflect on where your boundaries are weak can help you gain insight into why the disrespect is occurring. By identifying specific instances where you felt disrespected, you can determine what boundaries were crossed and how you could have communicated them more effectively. This awareness empowers you to take control of your interactions going forward. Another crucial factor is your own communication style. Misunderstandings in how we communicate can sometimes give the impression that we're allowing others to disregard us. The tone of voice, body language, and even word choices we use can unintentionally signal to others that we're not confident in our expectations. For example, if you constantly use phrases like maybe, I think, or I'm sorry, you may come across as uncertain or overly accommodating, which can lead others to dismiss your needs. To avoid this, it's essential to practice speaking with clarity and confidence. This means articulating your thoughts firmly and politely without leaving room for ambiguity. Instead of saying, "Can you try to respect my time a bit more?" which sounds passive, try saying, "I need you to respect my time by providing these updates earlier. It's important for both of us." This direct yet polite approach conveys your expectations clearly and sets the tone for mutual respect. By improving your communication style and being aware of how you present yourself, you not only minimize the chances of being disrespected, but also build a stronger foundation for healthier interactions. Understanding the root cause of disrespect helps you move beyond simply reacting to the behavior and enables you to address it at its core. This deeper understanding serves as the foundation for more assertive strategies that allow you to take control of your interactions, protect your boundaries, and foster healthier, more respectful relationships. 2. Set clear boundaries. One of the most effective ways to handle people who don't respect you is by setting clear and firm boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship because they establish what is and isn't acceptable behavior. When others understand what you will and won't tolerate, they are more likely to adjust their actions around you. Without these boundaries, people may assume they can behave however they like, often at the expense of your time, energy, and emotional well-being. For example, a friend who regularly cancels plans at the last minute might not realize the frustration or inconvenience they cause you unless you communicate the impact of their actions. Similarly, someone at work who constantly interrupts you during meetings may not be aware of how disrespectful this behavior is unless you address it. Boundaries serve as protective measures that safeguard your resources, time, mental energy, and emotional health. They help ensure that you're not taken for granted or mistreated, allowing you to maintain your dignity in all kinds of interactions. Once you've decided where you need boundaries, it's crucial to communicate them clearly and directly. Simply having boundaries in your mind isn't enough. Others need to know exactly what you expect. For instance, if a coworker frequently interrupts you in meetings, addressing the issue promptly is key. Rather than ignoring the behavior or letting it slide, you could say something like, "I'd appreciate it if you could let me finish before sharing your thoughts." This approach informs the person of your needs without sounding confrontational or aggressive, helping them understand the change in expectations. To make this communication even more effective, you can use the I statement technique, which ensures that your boundaries sound assertive without being accusatory. For example, instead of saying, "You're so rude for interrupting me," you could say, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted, so I'd like to finish my point before we discuss further." This approach is non-blaming and keeps the focus on your feelings, which makes it easier for others to understand your perspective and avoid defensive reactions. However, setting boundaries is only half the equation. Enforcing them is where the real change happens. If someone continues to disrespect your boundaries, even after you've communicated them, it's important to follow through with consequences. For example, if a friend frequently shows up late to your meetings, you could say, "If you're more than 15 minutes late, I'll have to leave." When you enforce this rule, you demonstrate that you take your boundaries seriously. It's not enough to simply state your needs. You need to hold people accountable when those boundaries are crossed. Consistency is crucial to maintaining effective boundaries. If you set a rule but allow exceptions every now and then, others will quickly learn that your boundaries aren't firm. This inconsistency weakens your position and sends mixed signals, making it easier for people to disrespect you in the future. The key is to stay resolute and stick to your boundaries, no matter how difficult it may seem. To set clear and consistent boundaries, start by identifying the areas where you feel disrespected, whether that's time, personal space, or communication. Once you've pinpointed these areas, decide what behaviors are acceptable and what you will no longer tolerate. Communicate your boundaries calmly and assertively, and make sure to follow through with consequences if they're crossed. Stay consistent and don't waver, no matter the circumstances. For example, imagine a family member who keeps borrowing your belongings without returning them. You could say, "I'm happy to share, but I need you to return things within a week. If that doesn't happen, I won't be able to lend anything in the future." By setting and maintaining these clear boundaries, you're actively teaching others how you expect to be treated, which is a crucial step in earning and maintaining the respect you deserve. 3. Stay calm and control your emotions. When faced with disrespect, it can feel like an immediate and visceral response is necessary. The urge to defend yourself, retaliate, or lash out is natural, as human beings are wired to protect their dignity and sense of self-worth. However, Acting on that impulse, especially when emotions are running high, rarely leads to the kind of outcome you desire. In fact, responding too quickly and too emotionally can escalate the situation, resulting in further conflict or regretful actions that you might later wish you had avoided. This is where the importance of staying calm and controlling your emotions comes in, a practice that requires both patience and self-discipline, but can profoundly impact how you navigate not just this specific instance of disrespect, but also future encounters. The first step in staying calm is recognizing that feeling disrespected is a valid emotional response. It's important not to suppress or ignore your feelings, as this can lead to resentment or internalized anger. Instead, acknowledge the emotions that arise in the moment and understand that they are a natural reaction to someone's behavior. The difference, however, lies in how you choose to respond to these feelings. Giving yourself a moment to pause, breathe, and collect your thoughts can be the difference between a destructive, emotionally charged interaction and a more measured, constructive one. This pause does not mean you are ignoring your emotions. It means you are giving yourself the space to think before reacting, preventing knee-jerk reactions that could worsen the situation. For instance, when confronted with a disrespectful comment or behavior, instead of immediately firing back with an emotional reply, consider taking a deep breath and counting to 5. This simple act gives you the opportunity to assess the situation more objectively and decide on a response that is aligned with your values rather than driven by impulse. It allows you to ask yourself questions like, what is my goal in this situation? Do I want to prove a point, or do I want to protect my peace and communicate effectively? By thinking through your response, you can avoid saying something you might regret later or unintentionally escalating the conflict. Remaining calm also opens the door for more effective communication. When emotions take the reins, the message you want to convey can be easily lost in the delivery. A response delivered in anger, sarcasm, or frustration is often received defensively, which only deepens the divide between you and the other person. On the other hand, if you remain calm and collected, your words carry more weight, and the other person is more likely to listen to what you are saying rather than focusing on your emotional state. A calm demeanor encourages the person who disrespected you to pay attention to the issue at hand, rather than getting caught up in the tension of the interaction. Another powerful aspect of staying calm is that it grants you the emotional control that many disrespectful individuals seek to provoke. In these moments, their goal may be to elicit a reaction that gives them power over you. If they succeed in provoking you, they gain an upper hand in the situation, and you may end up feeling defeated or even embarrassed. But when you refuse to give them that satisfaction by maintaining your composure, you regain control. You're no longer playing into their narrative, and in fact, your calmness often leaves them without the expected reaction. This can be incredibly disarming for the person disrespecting you, forcing them to reconsider their behavior or approach. Moreover, choosing to stay calm rather than reacting emotionally demonstrates maturity and emotional intelligence. It reflects that you understand the power of your own emotions and the impact they have not only on the situation, but also on your own peace of mind. When you master the art of responding calmly, you become less vulnerable to the emotional manipulation or provocations of others. You also model emotional regulation, teaching those around you how to interact in a more respectful, measured way. Over time, this approach helps create a space where disrespectful behavior is less likely to be tolerated, as others will learn that they can't disrupt your peace with simple provocations. Additionally, staying calm in the face of disrespect can help preserve your mental and emotional well-being. Conflict is emotionally draining, and letting yourself be swept up in every disrespectful action or comment leaves you mentally exhausted and can affect your overall sense of peace. By staying composed, you avoid unnecessary emotional turmoil. Instead of getting caught up in a cycle of anger, frustration, or resentment, you remain centered, protecting your own emotional health. This not only allows you to approach the situation with clarity, but also prevents the long-term damage that comes from harboring negative emotions. In the bigger picture, This practice of emotional control fosters greater resilience. Over time, as you consistently choose calmness over emotional reactivity, you begin to build emotional resilience. You become more adept at handling future situations that may involve disrespect, criticism, or conflict without feeling overwhelmed by the emotions that arise. The ability to stay calm becomes second nature, and you'll find that you handle difficult interactions with a sense of peace and confidence, regardless of how others behave. Ultimately, mastering the art of staying calm when faced with disrespect is not about suppressing your feelings or letting others walk over you. It's about choosing how you want to respond, consciously, thoughtfully, and with self-respect. In doing so, you not only protect yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil, but also set a standard for how you expect to be treated in the future. By showing up with emotional control, you demonstrate that you will not be easily shaken or provoked, sending a powerful message that your peace is non-negotiable. 4. Assertiveness, a key to handling. Assertiveness is a crucial skill when it comes to handling disrespect. It's more than just setting clear boundaries. It's about standing up for yourself in a way that communicates your needs, feelings, and thoughts confidently, without undermining the dignity of others. Being assertive does not mean being aggressive or confrontational. It's about striking a delicate balance between passivity and aggression. Assertiveness allows you to express your truth calmly and respectfully, ensuring that your voice is heard without resorting to hostility or silence. For example, if a colleague takes credit for your ideas in a meeting, a passive response might be to let it slide, while an aggressive response could involve an angry outburst. The assertive response, however, would involve calmly addressing the situation, explaining how you feel, and pointing out that you deserve recognition for your contributions. This approach allows you to stand up for yourself without creating unnecessary conflict. One of the key components of assertiveness lies in body language. Nonverbal communication often speaks louder than words, and the way you carry yourself can significantly impact how others perceive you. When handling disrespect, maintaining strong body language can help reinforce your words and convey confidence. Simple actions, such as maintaining eye contact, standing or sitting up straight, and using a calm yet firm tone of voice, communicate authority and self-assurance. These nonverbal cues play a critical role in whether others take you seriously. If you're unsure about how your body language comes across, you can practice in front of a mirror or record yourself while speaking. This self-awareness can help you refine your posture and gestures, ensuring that your body language supports the assertive message you want to send. Another vital aspect of assertiveness is the ability to say no without guilt. People who don't respect your boundaries often take advantage of your reluctance or inability to decline their requests. Whether it's a colleague asking for yet another favor, or a friend pressuring you into something uncomfortable, learning to say no firmly and without hesitation is essential for maintaining your self-respect. Saying no does not have to be rude or harsh. It can be delivered politely but firmly. Instead of offering vague responses like, "I'll try, but I'm not sure," an assertive reply might sound like, "I can't commit to that right now." This communicates a clear boundary and leaves no room for negotiation, demonstrating that you value your time, energy, and well-being. In moments of disrespect, it's common to react emotionally, but responding impulsively rarely yields the best results. Taking a brief moment to pause before reacting allows you to collect your thoughts and make a more measured response. Instead of letting emotions guide your actions, this pause gives you the opportunity to think through the situation rationally. One effective strategy to keep your response thoughtful is using I statements. By focusing on your own feelings, rather than blaming or accusing the other person, you maintain a respectful tone while still addressing the issue. For instance, if someone speaks to you in a rude tone, rather than snapping back or retaliating, you might say, "I find that tone disrespectful. I'd prefer if we could discuss this calmly." This approach not only helps diffuse the situation, but also sets clear expectations for how you wish to be treated. Assertiveness is a skill that requires consistent practice, and it's not always something that comes naturally to everyone. However, with regular effort, it can become second nature. A great way to start practicing assertiveness is by applying it to low-stakes situations where the stakes aren't high, like voicing your preference about where to eat or sharing your opinion in a casual conversation. As you gain confidence in these less charged situations, you can gradually move on to more challenging scenarios, such as standing your ground with a boss who frequently assigns extra work without acknowledging your current responsibilities. In such cases, an assertive response might be, "I understand this task is important, but I already have several deadlines. Can we prioritize these or delegate some tasks?" This shows that you are capable of managing your workload while reinforcing the importance of respecting your time. By regularly practicing assertiveness, you send a clear message to others. You value yourself and you expect them to treat you with the same level of respect. Over time, this will help deter disrespectful behavior, as people will learn that you are someone who will not tolerate mistreatment. Assertiveness empowers you to handle difficult situations with confidence and composure, ensuring that you maintain your dignity while fostering mutual respect with others. 5. Building self-confidence. The key to earning respect. Respect begins with how you perceive yourself, as self-respect is foundational to how others will treat you. If you don't value or respect yourself, it's highly unlikely that others will either. Building self-confidence is one of the most effective ways to command respect, and often, you don't even need to speak to convey it. When you believe in your own worth, that belief naturally radiates outward, making it easier for others to recognize your value. Confidence has the power to influence how people perceive you, and when you carry yourself with assurance, others are more likely to take you seriously. For example, someone who speaks with conviction and maintains strong eye contact tends to exude authority and self-assurance. This silent display of confidence is often enough to earn the respect of those around you, as it signals that you are secure in yourself and your abilities. One of the major barriers to developing confidence is the presence of self-doubt. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "What if I fail?" can undermine your ability to take on new challenges or stand up for yourself. To overcome these doubts, it's important to confront them head-on. A helpful strategy is to write down your self-doubts and challenge them with evidence from your past. For instance, if you doubt your ability to lead a meeting, thinking, "I'm not smart enough," you can recall past successes where you handled challenges confidently and effectively. By reminding yourself of those accomplishments, you provide yourself with tangible proof that you are capable, which weakens the power of self-doubt. This practice allows you to reframe your thinking and build a more positive, confident mindset. Building self-confidence also involves focusing on your strengths. Everyone possesses unique qualities that contribute to their value, and acknowledging these strengths is crucial in reinforcing your belief in yourself. Whether you're a great listener, a problem solver, or a creative thinker, recognizing and leaning into these strengths can significantly boost your confidence. An effective exercise is to list 3 things you're good at and reflect on past achievements that make you proud. By regularly reminding yourself of your strengths, especially during moments of self-doubt, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and capability. This exercise also helps you recognize that you have the skills to face challenges, providing a solid foundation for future growth. Confidence isn't built overnight. It's the result of consistent effort and small, bold steps that push you outside of your comfort zone. Starting with manageable challenges, such as contributing a single idea in a meeting, can gradually build your confidence. These incremental successes compound over time, and as you experience more wins, you begin to feel more secure in your abilities. Each small step you take toward improvement serves as a building block for greater confidence. The more you push yourself to take action, the easier it becomes to face new challenges. As time goes on, the fear of speaking up or taking on additional responsibilities will diminish, because each success reinforces your belief in your ability to handle what comes your way. Your physical presentation also plays an important role in building confidence. How you carry yourself, the way you dress, and the tone of your voice can influence how confident you feel and how others perceive you. Dressing in a way that makes you feel good, standing tall with your shoulders back, and speaking clearly can have an immediate impact on both your self-perception and how others view you. Consider the difference between two people entering a room, one with a slouched posture and downcast eyes, and the other with upright posture, a smile, and a strong presence. The second person is more likely to command respect and attention simply because they are presenting themselves in a way that exudes confidence. By making a conscious effort to present yourself in a confident manner, you send a message to those around you that you value yourself and in turn encourage them to do the same. Celebrating your progress is also an important part of building self-confidence. Every small step you take toward greater self-assurance is a victory worth acknowledging. Whether it's asserting yourself in a conversation or receiving positive feedback on your work, taking the time to appreciate these moments can reinforce your growth. For example, if you've recently handled a disrespectful situation with grace, reward yourself by reflecting on your success or treating yourself to something special. Acknowledging your achievements, no matter how small, keeps you motivated and reminds you that you are worthy of respect. It's these moments of self-celebration that help solidify the belief that you are capable and deserving of respect. Ultimately, building self-confidence is foundational to earning respect from others. Confidence isn't about achieving perfection or being flawless. It's about recognizing your intrinsic worth and projecting that belief into the world. The more you embrace and cultivate your confidence, the easier it becomes to navigate life's challenges with grace, assertiveness, and dignity. When you respect yourself and project that respect outwardly, you create an environment where others are more likely to do the same, naturally earning the respect you deserve. 6. Leading by example, a powerful approach to handling disrespect. Of the most effective ways to handle disrespect is by embodying the behavior you wish to see in others. When you consistently treat others with kindness, integrity, and respect, you set a powerful example that influences how people interact with you. People tend to mirror the energy and behavior they receive, so by approaching situations with respect and understanding, you create a positive environment that encourages others to do the same. For instance, maintaining a calm and composed demeanor during a tense situation can help diffuse conflict and encourage those around you to adopt a similar approach. When you model respectful behavior, you establish a standard that others are more likely to follow. Respectful communication is a critical element in managing disrespectful interactions. Even when confronted with disrespect, responding with politeness and consideration can help shift the tone of the conversation. It's important to remain calm and use polite language, even when you feel the need to assert yourself. For example, if someone repeatedly interrupts you during a discussion, instead of reacting with frustration, you might say, "I value your input, but I'd appreciate it if I could finish my thought first." This not only helps you maintain control of the conversation, but also demonstrates respectful communication, setting an example for others involved. In many cases, responding thoughtfully and calmly can help prevent escalation and promote a more constructive dialogue. Honesty and transparency also play a fundamental role in earning respect. In both personal and professional relationships, being upfront about your feelings and concerns shows integrity and fosters trust. It's important to communicate openly, particularly when addressing difficult issues. When offering feedback, focusing on the behavior rather than attacking the person is essential in maintaining a respectful tone. For instance, instead of saying, "You never listened to me," it's more effective to express, "I noticed that my suggestions were overlooked in the meeting. I'd like to discuss how we can collaborate more effectively." This type of honest and constructive feedback promotes mutual respect and helps maintain open, productive communication. By expressing your thoughts in a respectful manner, you create an environment where others feel safe to do the same, Accountability is another key component of respect. Acknowledging mistakes and taking responsibility for them shows respect for others and demonstrates that you are trustworthy and dependable. When you make an error, it's important to own up to it rather than offer excuses. For example, if you miss a deadline, a respectful approach would be to admit, "I didn't meet the deadline due to poor planning on my part. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again by organizing my tasks better." This level of accountability not only shows respect for those affected by your actions, but also reflects your commitment to improvement. Being accountable for your actions fosters trust and reinforces your integrity, which in turn earns you the respect of others. Inspiring others through positive actions is also an essential aspect of leading by example. People naturally respect those who act with integrity, consistency, and reliability. Whether it's being punctual, keeping promises, or offering help without expecting anything in return, your actions can have a lasting impact on how others view you. By consistently demonstrating these values, you not only show respect for others, but also for yourself. This, in turn, creates an environment where respect is cultivated mutually and everyone involved benefits from a culture of trust and cooperation. Your actions speak louder than words, and when you lead with integrity, you inspire others to do the same. Kindness, though often underestimated, is one of the most powerful tools for earning respect. Simple gestures, like acknowledging someone's efforts or offering help when needed, can have a significant effect on how others perceive you. For example, a manager who regularly appreciates their team's hard work not only creates a positive atmosphere, but also earns respect through their kindness and thoughtfulness. These small acts of consideration can go a long way in encouraging others to treat you with respect in return. Kindness creates a ripple effect that extends beyond individual interactions, fostering a more supportive and respectful environment overall. By consistently leading by example, you show others that respect is a two-way street. This approach doesn't just address disrespectful behavior. It creates a broader cultural shift. When you treat others with respect and integrity, you set in motion a chain reaction that influences the behavior of those around you. As others mirror your actions, respect becomes a shared value, promoting a more positive and respectful atmosphere for everyone involved. Through your example, you inspire others to act with the same level of respect, thereby cultivating a culture that values kindness, integrity, and mutual understanding. 7. Choose your battles wisely. Choosing your battles wisely is a powerful strategy in handling disrespect, as it allows you to maintain emotional balance and focus on what truly matters. In everyday interactions, not every disrespectful action requires your immediate attention or reaction. Often, it's easy to become reactive and engage in every confrontation, but doing so can drain your energy and escalate tension unnecessarily. Instead, it's crucial to evaluate each situation carefully before responding. This means asking yourself whether the disrespectful behavior is significant enough to warrant a confrontation, or if it is a minor incident that can be ignored or addressed later. Sometimes, letting go of small annoyances can be the most effective approach, particularly when the situation doesn't affect your core values or goals. By choosing to ignore minor disrespect, you prevent yourself from becoming embroiled in petty conflicts, and you save your energy for the issues that truly matter. Not every disagreement or disrespectful action requires you to stand your ground, especially if it has little impact on your well-being or your relationships. This doesn't mean tolerating ongoing mistreatment, but rather exercising discernment about when it's worth responding and when it's better to let things slide. Moreover, when you choose to not engage immediately, you give yourself the space to process the situation and decide on the most constructive way to handle it. In some cases, it might be more effective to wait for a calm moment to address the behavior rather than reacting in the heat of the moment. When emotions are running high, it's easy to respond impulsively, which can lead to unnecessary conflict. Taking the time to cool down and consider your response allows you to approach the situation with a clearer mind, making it more likely that the outcome will be positive. In addition, choosing your battles wisely helps you set boundaries that Prevent others from taking advantage of your willingness to engage in every confrontation. By picking only the most important issues to address, you demonstrate that you value your time and energy, and you reinforce that you won't tolerate disrespect unless it's truly significant. This approach can also foster respect from others, as they learn that your responses are measured and thoughtful, rather than reactive. One key benefit of this strategy is that it helps you maintain your emotional well-being. Constantly confronting disrespect can take an emotional toll, leaving you feeling drained or frustrated. By learning to pick your battles, you conserve your emotional energy for the moments that matter most. This not only preserves your peace of mind, but also ensures that when you do choose to address disrespect, your words and actions carry more weight and significance. In sum, choosing your battles wisely is about knowing when to engage and when to let go. It's about recognizing the difference between situations that require action and those that are best left unaddressed. By practicing this skill, you protect your emotional well-being, conserve your energy, and create a healthier approach to managing disrespect. It's not about avoiding conflict, but about being strategic and intentional in how you handle it, ensuring that your responses are always measured and focused on what truly matters. Final thoughts. Handling people who don't respect you can be one of the most difficult challenges you'll face, but it is an essential skill to master in order to protect your emotional health and maintain your peace of mind. The reality is that not everyone will treat you the way you deserve to be treated, and sometimes the disrespect you encounter can be overwhelming. However, by learning how to navigate these difficult situations with grace and strength, you can take control of your relationships and preserve your well-being. It's about finding a balance between standing up for yourself and knowing when it's best to disengage. One of the most powerful ways to handle disrespect is by asserting your boundaries. Setting clear, firm boundaries is an act of self-respect that communicates to others what behavior is acceptable and what is not. It may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've been accustomed to tolerating disrespect. But over time, setting boundaries will become a vital tool for protecting yourself. When you assert your boundaries, you send a message that you value yourself and expect the same from those around you. Boundaries can be physical, emotional, or verbal, and they provide you with the necessary space to maintain your emotional integrity. Whether it's speaking up when someone interrupts you or distancing yourself from toxic individuals, respecting your own needs is the foundation of dealing with disrespect. In addition to setting boundaries, practicing self-respect is crucial for maintaining your sense of dignity and self-worth. When you respect yourself, you're less likely to tolerate behavior that diminishes your value or leaves you feeling small. Self-respect is an internal compass that guides how you allow others to treat you. It helps you recognize when you're being disrespected and empowers you to take the necessary steps to protect your emotional health. Practicing self-respect involves not only standing up for yourself, but also nurturing your self-esteem and treating yourself with the kindness and consideration you deserve. When you cultivate self-respect, it becomes easier to reject mistreatment and navigate challenging interactions with confidence. Building confidence plays a key role in handling disrespect. Confidence gives you the courage to assert yourself and to take action when necessary. When you believe in your worth, you're less likely to let others diminish you with their words or actions. A person who carries themselves with confidence commands respect simply by the way they present themselves. This does not mean being arrogant or dismissive of others, but instead having a deep belief in your own value and being unapologetic about it. Confidence allows you to stand your ground, to speak up when needed, and to maintain your integrity even in difficult situations. It's a tool that helps you navigate disrespect without compromising who you are. Another important strategy is knowing when to walk away. Sometimes, no matter how much you assert your boundaries or practice self-respect, the best option is to remove yourself from a toxic or disrespectful situation altogether. Walking away isn't about admitting defeat, but about taking control of your own peace and protecting your emotional health. If a relationship or interaction continuously drains you or undermines your self-worth, it's important to recognize when it's time to step away. By doing so, you create space for healthier, more supportive relationships that align with your true values and goals. Walking away can be a liberating act, allowing you to prioritize your well-being and open the door to better opportunities and connections. When you embrace these strategies, asserting your boundaries, practicing self-respect, building confidence and knowing when to walk away, you take charge of your relationships and your emotional life. You are no longer at the mercy of others' disrespectful behavior, but are empowered to protect your peace and well-being. By standing firm in your beliefs and communicating clearly, you create a clear standard for how you expect to be treated. Those who are unwilling or unable to meet those standards will naturally fall away. And in their place, you will find relationships that uplift, support, and encourage you to be your best self. Above all, remember that you deserve respect, kindness, and understanding in all your relationships, whether personal or professional. By prioritizing your emotional health and standing firm in your values, you create an environment in which you attract the kind of people who will treat you with the respect you deserve. Don't be afraid to take action when needed, whether that means having difficult conversations or walking away from toxic situations. Every step you take toward protecting yourself and prioritizing your well-being is a step toward creating the life and relationships you deserve. You are worthy of love, respect, and support. And by mastering these strategies, you'll be better equipped to cultivate a life filled with healthier, more fulfilling connections.